All right. So today's Pilates lesson is going to be mat work with the help of the foam roller and variations. So let us all come to the very front of the foam roller and lay yourself down. And allow the shoulders to widen so that you allow gravity to let the shoulders drop and open up the chest. And just notice, because usually we have a lot of tightness in the upper pec area, don't try and jam them back. Just see what happens when you relax, because that is kind of the true shape you've got. And then just to start, let's loosen our necks up, dropping your nose. So you roll your head to one side. You should not lift it. The feeling is that the head is falling off the foam roller if you're loose. Then take the hand, in this case, my hand is this one, and stretch it towards your heel to get an extra stretch in this area. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, lengthen the arm and relax the head a little bit more. You can even adjust your body and your hips. I've got my head to the right and I'm taking my hips gently to the left to create even more traction into that part and focus in the stretch. Bring the head back up. Remember, you're not lifting and moving your head, you're rolling it. Drop your head to the other side. Let it roll. Let it feel like it's falling off the foam roller. Very heavy. Take a breath in, breath out, and let the head get even heavier. And then slowly wiggle the hand in the opposite direction so you traction that side of the neck out. Again, I'm adjusting. I'm very slightly rolling my hips in the opposite direction to get more traction. Nice stretch into the neck, into those scalene muscles that we also tighten. Relax your shoulders again. One more time, rolling, 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 not lifting and adjusting. So your ear is maybe even moving towards your shoulder, the ear that's closest to the floor. Let the neck stretch by lengthening the arm. When you lengthen the arm, the elbow will extend off the floor. Then bring your head back up, relax this stretched arm, roll and drop your head the opposite way. And again, heavy arm, stretch in the opposite direction, opening up those muscles, checking that you're not over tight in your hips and in your trunk, and then roll back to the top. So always trying to achieve a place where we're actually relaxed so that the pure stretch happens, not over rigidified. Now, different stretch in the neck. Think of where your ears are. So if you have a straight line running through the center, that's your spinal column, the kind of imaginary center line of the body. Right now, the ears are out to the side of that line. So now you lift your head and bring the ear so it's tracking with that line. So the rotation in the neck is different. Check that your chin is not up, is not down. Get it as straight as possible. It's a completely different stretch. And again, stretch the opposite arm away. I'm tight a little bit, so I'm using my body. You can play with manipulating the weight of your pelvis and your rib cage to focus the stretch in. So now it's actually getting into a completely different muscle group. In my case, it's more the front part of my neck and throat. I think the platysma or something it's called. Really stretch out that area if you can. Lift the head a bit, come back to the center. Think of where your ears are and where the center line of the body is. Lift the head and bring the opposite ear in. Keep your chin down so it's completely to the side. Start stretching the hand in the opposite direction. See how much you can get your head to rotate, but remember the ear is on top of this, is lined up with your spinal column, not off to the side. And back to the center. So for one more time, same stretch, lift and rotate. So perfectly healthy, unrestricted neck, the chin and this whole line of the face should go all the way to the shoulder. Children have it. They can turn the head all over the place. No problem, no restriction. So that's kind of what we're looking to move into, or at least visit the places that are jamming us and keeping us tight and rigidified in our neck and throat and jaw and thyroid and brain. So all of that, it can actually pull all the way into your face muscles, bring it back, let everything settle, and turn the head again. Ears on the side and rotate. And check the shoulder that's you've turned your face away from, it tends to get pulled up. Can you relax it down? And if you need to do little adjustments, you get even more length and stretch, and then bring the head back. Now let's bring the hands up to the ceiling so the hands are facing each other, and just pull the shoulders away from the floor. Really stretch them. See if you can go as far up to the ceiling as you can, and then let the shoulders fall. And lift, stretch. You're stretching your trapezius muscle. If I really stretch, my neck starts to pull back because the trapezius muscles are short. So if you open up one section of a band of muscle, another part of that same band is going to shrink a little bit. So just go for it and drop. And again, lift. So you're also loosening up the joint and drop. In the shoulder joint of the arm bone where it connects in, drop. One more time like this. And drop. Now, take the hands and turn them so they're facing your knees, and lift them the same way. And take the arms over your head to the floor. So you may get, and you probably do get, a big stretch all the way the side body. If you can get to the floor, maybe your ribs have popped way up. If your ribs are popping up, that means there's a lot of tightness in your lats and your whole back muscles, because something has to give, and in this case, it's the rib cage. So don't block that movement. Just be aware of how you're put together, because the more you know about yourself, the more you navigate intelligently in your experience of your body. Arms to the ceiling, lift. Lengthen the arms way out. Enjoy the stretch. Enjoy the feeling of the diaphragm, maybe lengthening up. In fact, what I'm doing now, I've got my feet on the floor and I'm pushing up towards my hands to get even more of a nice sense of this beautiful stretch up and all the way down. Every time you come down, relax the shoulders again. So a few more times. Do this in your own time and just notice what is happening. Really track your own body. Self-awareness is the secret to really, really changing things. It applies to so much more than just focusing in on your body. It's really what will make you a genius and very sensitive, because you'll just be observing you. And that is a skill that I think is not often encouraged. And it's revelatory when people tap into it. Nice and open and long, and all the way down. Now, we're going to do a variation of this. Bring the arms up to the ceiling and let the shoulders drop. So you're not jamming them down muscularly, you're relaxing them. Very gently pull the armpits towards the waist. You're using all this band of muscle on the side ribs and the back. These are your lats. And you want to just feel them engage if you can. And they are engageable for everybody. Now, can you go back without that movement? So now we're isolating a little bit more into the armpit and the tissue of the arms. So it's a different, literally a different quality movement. Then you bring your arms down. Again, relax the shoulders. Lift the arms up. Gently pull the armpit skin towards the ribs. And then also the other thing, lengthen the arm bones. Don't block the elbow. You don't want to like hyperextend, but create length and softness at the same time. Now that's really something. Soft, long tissue, so that the tight area in the armpits and maybe around the ribs, maybe in your trapezius muscles, in the arms themselves, that starts to loosen. Relax. So back and forth a few more times. Focus on keeping the basically what happens is the shoulders stay away from the ears. So very often when we're exercising, we're told, pull your shoulders down, press your shoulders down, pull your shoulders down away from your ears. And in a funny way, that's the wrong cue, in my humble opinion, because it creates tension in the trapezius. So people jam shoulders down. I've been guilty of teaching that way and doing it that way, and actually tightening the wrong muscle group, because you tighten the muscles around the neck and the shoulders instead of the rib cage muscle. So if you can start to separate this, and you will find that the neck is relaxed and the muscles that should start to become long and strong and bring you the support you need will activate. So relax again, let the elbows drop, and now bring the arms to the ceiling. For our next one, turn the palms to face each other. Stretch the shoulders to the up away from the floor, and again, stretch your arms out. Now, as you go out, just glance for a minute, side to side, to check and see where the fingers are. There is a natural propensity to have the hands high, and we want them in line with your hands. Even if you have zigzag elbows and all sorts of funny joints, the fingers and the hands should match the shoulders. And then you pull apart. See, if you just pull apart, do not lock the elbows, lengthen the elbows so we get the tissue to start to open. Bring the hands up, lift the shoulders, and take the arms sideways, reaching them out as far as they can go. So you get into the tissue of the chest. Wherever you're getting into is good. And again, reach and stretch. See if you can slide your fingers as far away from you as you can. Come back up. Now, let the shoulders relax down, and you will do the same thing. So it's a slightly different feeling. The beauty of the foam roller, by the way, is it's keeping those shoulder blades wide. If you are squeezing your shoulder blades together to get the hands out, stop doing that, because then you block a whole area. You're basically, so right here, let's just test this. Lift the shoulders away from the floor. Your shoulder blades have just widened. When you relax, the shoulder blades should still be wide on the back of your ribs, because they can't come together because the foam roller's there. Now, as you go out, navigate and don't squeeze your shoulder blades together. Open the chest and expand the front body instead. If you're very tight, you'll see that you want to squeeze there. Don't do that. You may not get to the floor. Wonderful. You'll feel a completely new set of body dynamics coming into play. So do a few more, keeping those shoulder blades nice and wide on the foam roller, so you really allow one of the many layers of muscle tissue and programming that our body has as an incredible variety of choices for how we can move. And you're accessing this specific one, which a lot of people are unaware of. Now, here you are, spread the fingers. It's like I've got my hands like that. Now, also check, because the hands are tight, so the fingers want to curl up. Try to get this area where the knuckles are really straight. If I was in a class with you, I'd come over and I would do that to really give you that traction. In fact, let's all of us reach up and pull our fingers back just to get that stretch, and feel the forearm stretch. Do the same with the other hand, so you really stretch out your forearm. Do the same, and now stretch out your thumb, because chances are you only did the 4 fingers, because the thumb has its own kind of sequencing. And do the same with the other side. Thumb has got a different logic, you could say. So come back and stretch. Now become aware of how much can you pull the fingers down, and now lift the shoulders up. So you're reaching like you've got a tray, and it has, and take the hands out to the floor. So the fingers touch the floor, and push the heel of the hand away. Look at your hands. Are the fingers going down? They usually go all over the place, and they come to all sorts of funny places. Can you put them on this geometric grid that we're kind of trying to open up potential in our bodies with? Curl the other way. Bring the hands back up. Look at your third finger. It should touch. Open and spread. Take the hands down. Push your heel of the hand away. Curl the fingers in. Bring the hands back up. Curl. Open. Curl. Back. One more time. Open. Down. Can you get your third finger going down? Can you get the thumb stretching back? Curl and up. Shake your hands out. And hands to the floor so the palm of the hand faces up. The nails are facing the floor. Let the shoulders drop, and we'll do what I call angel arms. Start spreading the arms sideways. If you've got frozen shoulder, tight shoulders, some things can really jump in there. Just go as far as you can go and bring the arms as high up as you can. Just feel what you're opening, and then come back down. I think the third person is Dansky. And Linda, I know you've got some things going with your shoulder. If it's very extreme and you get really locked up about here, get off the foam roller and do this on the floor, because the angle is just too severe for what your joint's ready to do. So you just do your best. See if you can stay on the floor. If you're flying off the floor and you're getting a stretch, it's valuable. So it's all good. Stretch. Start to notice what's being activated and where you feel more sensation. Those are areas of kind of growth for you. So for me, it's the side of my ribs. I know I'm really waking up my lats, and in the armpits in the front, and in the front of my arms. I know, and I can feel it really stretching in there, and it feels delicious. That's an area, because the arms are down, gets kind of more stagnant. Very, very good shake. Hands up, and now make fists. Really like the thumb is on the outside, get a good grip, and take your arms sideways. Now they're hovering off the floor, and curl the wrist up, the fist up, curl it down. Notice when you curl up, you stretch the back of the forearm. And before, when we had our fingers straight, we were stretching the front of the forearm. So we're really loosening up the whole lower section of our arm into our hands. Now circle. 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 And reverse. Circle. Circle. And circle. And pull them apart and stretch them out. So the fingers and hands get very kind of nice and tight. Now, arms come back to the ceiling. The fingers are, the palm is facing your knees. Elbows come to the floor. If you have a hard time getting the elbows to the floor, get off the foam roller. Or if you can only get your elbows to touch the floor way down here, better to be off the foam roller than on. But it's okay. You're not, again, it's just that the angle is so severe. The goal is to get the elbow, or the genetic design of your potential, I should say, is elbow in line with the shoulder and hand right above. So it's a 90-degree angle. Now, if you're on the foam roller, actually you could do this on the floor too. Push a little bit and notice that you've taken the skin on your back and rolled it down like a cape being draped down. Take your hands back towards the floor like you're saying, I give up. And lift and take your hands forward and down. Notice that the shoulder, the whole rotation of the arm rolls forward. Let it happen. Lift and rotate back. Lift, rotate forward. So back and forth a few times. Make sure you're not straining. You don't want to push with muscle strains. You want to relax to allow the tissue to open. So you're actually loosening up tissue in the arm, in the armpit, in the shoulder. You want that area to start to become more fluidic again. Open. If you're nice and loose, you just flop back and forth and you're like it's a no deal for you. So that is the potential of what this joint should be able to offer you. Now, come back to the I give up position and notice that the whole cuff is rolled up and back. It's like the deltoid, or the more bulging part of the shoulder muscle, is facing the ceiling and back. So see if you can keep that there. And now bring the arm. So we're isolating the bone in the socket. So this is about as far as I can go before my shoulder, the whole joint. So see if we can go back and forth a few times without letting the shoulder come forward. So it's a more specific isolation. And now you're kind of focusing a little bit deeper into really the socket or the capsule where the bone sits into that joint. Very nice. Now, come back to this shape and bring the elbows down a bit and open the hands out. I call this a W. And from here, stretch the hands in a long diagonal out and up. This is a Y. And really, once you get to here, reach with those hands apart and you will feel some tractioning happen. And then you make the elbows as heavy as you can, rolling them down. Reaching back out, stretching into the fingertips. Bending the elbows heavy, letting them drag down and in. Reaching the hands out, lengthening up. 2 more times. Bending the elbows, bringing them in. And stretching the hands and reaching them out. And now from here, roll to one side. So you roll off and come up and place the foam roller at the low section of your, just below the shoulder blades, low section of the rib cage. It's cold here. I take my sweater off. So from this point, just adjust so you lift your hips a little bit. So you're slightly tucking. See if you get a sense of lengthening your lower back. Drop the hips down. Curl in a little bit to tighten your belly a bit more. So notice the ribs are pressing. You want to feel the ribs pushing into your body, into the foam roller, and then you're curling forward, and then very slightly going back. So that's a little routine. You lift a bit, hips come up, curling, hips go down, curling in, and lengthening out. Lifting up again, hips come up. So you see if you can get in touch with your front body, coming down, curling up, rolling back. Come up a bit, roll down a little bit. So now maybe base of the shoulder blades or a little bit into the shoulder blades, a little bit longer. Tuck the tails like you're trying to press your lower back into the mat, to floor, yeah, mat, lifting up, lowering down. Let's reverse it now. Going back a little bit, curling up, seeing if you can get a sense of your front body working. Curling up, curling down, rolling back, rolling up, lifting up, rolling down, lowering back, coming up, rolling a little bit further up. Now you're right into the meat of the shoulder blades. Lifting up, this is the place you can get even more articulation. Lowering down, reaching back a bit, seeing if you can get a sense of opening the chest, curling up in that area. Lifting up, lowering down, opening back, curling up. Roll all the way down, and now take the foam roller and place it under your hips in the most elegant way you can, which is probably not what I did. So you want it on your sacrum. You want to really feel, again, this engagement, so the abdominal muscles are dropping down a little bit. And now from here, bring one knee up and then the other knee up. So notice as you bring your knees up, you can kind of rock them forward and your lower back will drop towards the floor. Your inflection in reverse, the foam roller is doing it. You want to keep holding the foam roller so you have this nice traction and length there. From here, just roll your knees and feet a little bit to one side. Come back, keeping the flexion, roll to the other side, putting a little pressure in and back. Roll to the first side and back. So we're just lengthening that whole area of the lower back. One more time, rolling to the first side, keeping this very slight scoop. And other side and back. Keeping this position so that it's like into your sacrum, making sure your lower back. So if you're here, you won't have the full weight of the legs, really encouraging the lower back to release. Take one foot and without letting the other leg release, slowly lower it down. See if you can get, and just allow this area to open up a little bit. Take a moment, we're just warming up our bodies. Bring it back. Let the knees drop in. Take the other knee towards the floor. See if you can let your hip flexor open, the quads release. Take a moment. Bring it back. Let it drop in. Release again. First leg again. Now, if you want to, see if you can lengthen the leg further. So it's asking more opening to happen. Notice if your lower back wants to start arching, because that would be where it would go once you reach your own limit. And bring the leg back one more time. Other side, let it drop. I didn't mean that more than once. Slowly let the leg open as far as you can go without, if I go much further, my back will arch. So you really want to see if you can focus the stretch in. Again, don't do anything wrong if the back arches. So it's not like a safety, and it's just like the way the body works. Reaches its limit, it's going to bring more into the formula. Wow, so tight on this side. And in one more time, first side, let the knees drop. First leg down. Lengthen out. This leg opens so nicely. I want my other side to open like that too one day. Be grateful that it's done all the holding. And in, and other side. You drop, put the foot on the floor, and open up this. Some of you may have your leg all the way straight. And in. Very, very good. Lower your hips down. Come to one side and come up. And now we put the foam roller back lengthwise. Bring your hips up and lay yourself down on the foam roller again. So you really want your head and your hips on. I'm hoping everybody's got a long one. I think, Arlene, you had a long one, or you were using a mat last time. Anyhow, now make sure your feet are sit bone width apart. So they're really not very wide. They go, and make sure your feet are going straight forward. We naturally externally rotate a little bit, just, to counterbalance different things, and slightly push with your feet to get the skin on your back as long as possible. Make sure your knees are going straight forward. And these are the rules of the game. The wider the hands, the easier the base. So if you're very unstable on your foam roller, you get your hands wide with your elbows down. The closer your hands come in, the narrower the base, the harder it is to balance. And the less that's touching the floor. But now elbows off is the next level. Wrists off, so only fingertips. Fingertips close is harder than fingertips away. So those are the different levels you can challenge yourself. From here, lift your right knee up. I'm going to keep my elbows down until I warm up. And down. Left knee up. And down. As you do this, notice if your body wants to go in one direction, one side's easier than the other. It's a great way to really balance out all of the trunk muscles and kind of raise the bar on whatever's going on in your body today. Because every day our bodies are different. Now, lift your first knee up. Lift your second knee up. Put your first foot down and the other foot down. So take your time if you're really struggling or if you find that you're almost falling off. Make sure your base of support is wider until your body gets used to the balancing. There's a lot of balancing going on here. And now you'll reverse it. So left knee in my case, right knee, left foot, right foot, left knee, right knee, whoa-ho-ho, left foot. I haven't done this for quite a long time. There's a lot of wobbles inside this body here. And down and down. Very good. Now, both knees. So bring your feet closer together so they're touching and your knees are touching and both knees lift at the same time. So bring them all the way in once you're balancing. Can you take them to tabletop and then lower to the floor? And again, bring the knees up and bring them in. Bring them to tabletop and lower them to the floor. And again, bring the knees in. Bring them to tabletop and lower them to the floor. Now, lift your arms to the ceiling. Check that your base, your foot base isn't too wide. So again, sit bone width apart. Curl your head and chest off. Lower back down. Curl your head and chest off. Lower back down. Curl your head and chest off. And lower back down. One more time like this. Curl your head and chest off. And lower back down. Bring your hands back to the floor. Right hand and left knee. The left leg is in tabletop. And extend your arm and your leg on a long diagonal. Very tempting to do this, nothing wrong, but see if you can do that. It's a different counterweight. And back. And extend. And back. And extend. And back. And extend. And back one more time and extend. And back. Bring the hand and the foot down. Get yourself balanced and lift your other hand and knee up. And extend. And back. Extend. And back. Extend. And back. Last one. Extend and bend. Put the hand and the foot down. Stay there. My dog needs to come back in. Just stay. Enjoy. Do anything you want. I'll be right back. Okay, Wall. In you get. Good boy. Now, here we are. Bring your knees and your feet together. Extend your knees into your chest. We're going for the hundreds. Bring your legs to tabletop. Can you lift your head and your chest up? I'm not asking you to get your hands off the floor, but see where your point of balance is. Take a breath in and curl up. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in, lift your legs up if you want to go to the next level. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Breath out. 2 more times like this. Breath in. Breath out. Breath in. Lower your legs if you want to really work hard. Oh my God. Breath out and head down and feet down. Relax the shoulders and rock your head from side to side. Loosening everything up. Little release for the neck, a little further. So feel up for the top of your foam roller. Slide yourself further up so that the top of the skull is hooked over the edge. That puts your neck exactly in line with the rest of the spinal column. So then roll your head from side to side and keep the skull off the foam roller. And you will get a whole other band being woken up. So great way to create both traction and open and release the neck, unless you're already very curved in your spine and in your neck. Then this is almost too much of a stretch. You won't be able to get into it. I'm hoping this feels deliciously good for you. Then with care, lift your head and chest up and roll yourself up to a seated position if you can. Roll back, sitting at the top of the foam roller. See if you can get a sense of a lifted spine, and let's roll halfway back. By the way, if it's really tight on your bones around the tail and the sacrum, roll back up. Maybe don't do it. I think one of you had a very hard foam roller. By the way, let's open up the glutes so that they drape over the side, and we'll do the same thing again. So nice and lifted. You should feel your sit bones going on either side, tall, and then start rolling. So really create the hammock. See if you can get this articulation down both sides of the spine and roll yourself up again in your own time. Let's add no arms. Let's see what happens now. Rolling back again. Whoa. Roll up. Very revelatory on the imbalances of the body. Rolling down, and it's fine to use your hands in any way you need to on the floor or onto your thighs. I'm moving back to the front of my foam roller because I started rolling back. This time we're going with our head to the mat, to the roll. So all the way down. Take your arms over your head. Give yourself a stretch. Bring the arms up. Curl and come up. One more time like that, rolling down. Keep that, I like to keep the hands stretching forward, so I'm opening everything in my back out. Reach. Arms up, curl, and come up. By the way, the foam roller I have is a soft one. I like it because it has a bit more give. It's more forgiving on the joints than the traditional harder foam rollers. They're all good. They all have a use. This is a kind of a competition for the melt method foam roller. So just as a mention. Feet long, not too wide. Remember, the wider the legs are, the more base of support you have, so it's easier to balance. If you can keep narrow, amazing. Can you, with your hands on the floor, I'm doing this, stretch forward. Give yourself a stretch and flex your legs out so you really traction into your tissues. And release everything. Come back up. Can you sit? Just that can be a challenge. If you need to put your hands down, do so. Let's see if we can roll to the mat, to the foam roller. All the way down. Stretch your arms over your head. Bring the arms up. And stretch forward. And again, roll down. Reach. And roll up. And stretch forward. And last time, roll back. Reach. And roll up. Whoa. And stretch forward. Now, let's see. We do have, let me just check. I think this is, yeah, it's Kathy. Okay, hi, Kathy. I want to see who's attending. We will be on our backs again. So this one, Kathy, is plow. So maybe don't do it all the way. Your hands are on your floor. Bring the legs up. I recommend the first time wide base for the hands and elbows down, and lift your legs up to the ceiling. Can you take your legs over towards the floor? You probably will take a little time. I'm not going to the floor the first time and open the legs to bring the legs back. So you're going through this rolling motion to start to lengthen and stay in balance. Same go further, whoa, and roll. So even if you're barely lifting your bottom off the mat, one more time like this. Rolling. Take your time, doesn't matter how far you go. Wonderful to release the lower back. Reverse it. Lifting the hips a little bit if you're brave and able to. And again. There's no way I'm doing this on a narrow base of support. I like my hands nice and wide and the elbows nice and down because it's doing some magic. Whoa, there I go. There, get my feet to the floor, very nice. And now take your legs out, and how long can you keep them on the way down to the floor? If you can keep them straight, wonderful. Bend your knees. We're going back to the other way of having our legs. So place the magic circle. Listen to the foam roller between the legs of the feet. Hike your hips up, and we're back to the horizontal placement, so it's under your hips. Bend your right knee because we're doing single leg stretches, and lengthen the left leg as far out. Maybe you can get it all the way to the floor. So we're stretching the quad and the hip flexor, and this leg is out. And you'll do 5 circles around your hip socket, and let yourself move a little bit so that the massage of the foam roller into the pelvis starts to loosen up tissue. Reverse, circle. If you're very loose and the limbs are straight and long, then you stabilize. But if you're more tight, you need to loosen up. 4, 5, and then stretch. Allow everything to lengthen, loosen, open. Bring the knee in, and let's change sides. So bend the other leg in. Lengthen the leg on the floor out and lift this leg up. And again, circle. So I'm allowing the pelvis to move a bit. Believe it or not, in the old days, Joseph Pilates had the hips going all over the place. I've seen videos of him, not with a foam roller, of course. So his purpose in this exercise and the way interpreted is different from what we understand it now and teach it now. 4 and 5. Bend the leg in, then both legs in, let your lower back release. And come back to sitting. We're doing rolling like a ball on the foam roller. Who would have thought? Crazy. So here we are. Can you balance? Just that. Nice straight. Just that is quite something. And then take your time. Can you rock? And up. And rock. Roll. And up. And rock. And up. And rock. And up. One more time. Rock. And up. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Come on off. Have your foam roller horizontal again for our series of 5, our ab work. So, oh, I really like that. There's our new transition. You sit, you lean into the foam roller, bend, and rock your hips up and roll down at the same time. Much more graceful than the way we were doing it before. From here, bring the knees in. Remember, again, always allowing that lower back to release and open. Make sure you have a nice hold and extend one leg out, opening up into the hip flexor. Switch and extend and open that hip flexor. And switch. And switch. And switch. 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 And switch. Very nice. Hype yourself back up. Bring the knees in. Extend both legs out as far as they'll go. Bring them in. See if you can get in touch now with the abs being challenged as you have your legs out. And in. Extend the legs out. So you want to keep the abdominals nice and long and firm. Extend. And in. Extend. And in. Lift your legs to the ceiling. Get a sense of the stability and take one leg down. The goal now is to get as much opening, and then the other leg goes in the opposite direction. Bring both legs up. Take the other leg down and the other leg in opposition. So you stretch and up. First leg down, long, and up. Other leg down and long, and up. First leg again, long, and up. And last one, long, and up. Hike your hips up if they fell down, and just for a minute, bring your knees in. And again, rock from side to side. So you lift your hip a little bit to massage the pelvis and lengthen even further into that whole spinal column. Get to a place that you feel nice and steady and lift your legs up. And Get yourself feeling nice and steady and lower the legs. Lift them up. Lower your legs. Lift them up. Lower the legs. Lift them up. Lower the legs. Up. Last one. Lower your legs. And up. Bend your knees in. Now take your left leg out, your right knee is in. Take your left hand and roll. So I've got the foam roll and I'm rolling the left shoulder forwards. I'm rotating onto my right shoulder. Bend the knees back. Extend the other leg out. Right hand rolls to the left. So my hips are staying on, but I'm twisting my shoulders. And back. First side. And twist. And back. Whoops. Other side. And twist. And back. First side again. And twist. And back. And other side. And twist. And back. And roll your hips down. Take the foam roller. I'm going to move down a little bit so it's a little bit further away from you with the feet on it. Get your back feeling nice and flat. So maybe a 45-degree angle, not too close, not too far. Can you lift the hips up without the foam? Whoa, cramp. And down. Wow. Is that activating my hamstrings? Yes. So the goal is not to move. I'm sure you're doing it better than me. Lifting up. Rolling down. As best you can, your knees and your feet are facing straight forward. And down. And up. And down. One more time like this. And up. And down. Very good. Now roll up. And let's actually, this will be really nice. We're going to do spine switch forward in a variety of ways. So when our knees are bent and the foam roll is under, hamstrings are much looser. Let's pull the flesh of the glutes a little bit out to the side. So remember your hip, the bone of the hip is right here. You want it kind of loose if you can. Hold your foam roller, lift your back up. So you want this nice lifted spine. Now walk your hands forward as far as you can, lengthening out. Feel your stomach pulling in. So you're stretching your back really. And roll back up. Grab the foam roller and lift. And again, forward, lengthening out, coming back, and lifting. And again, walk your fingers out, and come back, and lift. Now, pop your bottom on top of the foam roller. So I'm a little bit back because I don't want to fall off. So the thing here is we've just, by elevating the hips, the angle of the thigh bone into the trunk is not as extreme as if you're at 90 degrees. So people that are very tight in the hamstrings and they just can't sit up straight, this is what they need to do so that you get the pelvis set up right, because the muscles aren't loose enough yet to allow the joints to do this. So hopefully it's easier to sit up straight, even though you have to balance. When you go forward, you need to make sure your bottom is far enough back that you don't fall off. So let's actually, all of us, move down a little bit. So the foam roller is into our hamstrings, and if it's pushing into the muscle tissue, You're doing fascia release as you do spine stretch forward. So walk forward and let the hips go back a little bit. So you go back and stretch. And then roll back up and sit up straight. And again, forward, lengthening, letting the hamstrings actually sink into the roller. And roll back, sit up straight. And again, go forward, lengthening out. And roll back and sit up straight. And just for a minute, really settle in to the hamstrings. And this is too good for us to miss out. Bring your legs closer together. And just take a few times where you're rolling back and forth on your own hamstrings. It's just too good to not take advantage of this as you're doing it. And then come forward and roll over your bottom a few times because it needs a little love too. And again, so very similar to what we do with the Yamana body rolling roll material. So let's now take the roller. If you can sit with it, if your legs go this wide, great. If it's too much, you bring your legs closer and you have the foam roller over the top. But if you can have it at this width, go for it. And we're going to be rolling forward and back now with the roller. So start by sitting up straight, your arms are long. Take a breath in, bend down, and stretch a little bit forward. So the roller rolls forward. Now pull your stomach in and roll and stack up. And lift your arms and come back to your vertical position. Imagine you have a big lift in here, so you're bending over that lift in the stomach. So it's really the rib cage only that's bending right now. And then you start to go further forward. Roll back, broadening your chest. Lift up. One more time. Scoop and pull the stomach back as you roll back. Or you roll forward, I should say. Roll back. And sit up tall. Now keep the foam roller between your legs and very slightly squeeze it so you activate. And we'll do our saw just here. So reach, twist, and stretch towards your little toe. Keep the squeeze in the foam roller. 1, 2, 3. Lift. Squeeze the foam roller. Go to the other side. 1, 2, 3. Lift. First side. Squeeze and stretch. 2, 3. Lift. Squeeze and stretch. 2, 3. Lift. First side. Stretch. 2, 3. Lift. Other side. Stretch. 2, 3, and lift. Bring the hands down. Bring, what was it that I had? Oh, I had this great weight. We're going to get our bottoms back on the foam roller, but we're going to do it in my elegant new transitional way. So foam roller is behind your sacrum, you lower back so you feel it in your back, and you walk your feet forward and you rock back. Love this transition. Oh my goodness. Lift your legs up to the ceiling. So you want to feel that nice anchor of your sacrum down. We're doing corkscrew from here. So keep your pelvis nice and steady. Circle to the right, down. So you're massaging your pelvis and your sacrum, and pause. Circle, down, around, and up. Whew. Circle, down, around, and up. Circle, down, around, and up. Circle, down, around, and up. And last one, circle, down, around, and up. Very nice bend. Roll the foam roller out. And now we're going onto our stomachs for swan and swan dive. So lay yourselves on your stomach and the foam roller is above you. And you want the foam roller on your forearms, just below the elbow. So it's going to be rolling between the elbow and the wrist. So here it is. It's on the just below the elbow. And your head is down between. If you can get your forehead to the floor, that's awesome. See if you can get a sense of anchoring your pelvis and tightening the muscles around the sacrum into the floor. Then lift your head, pull the shoulders towards your ribs, and lift a little bit. So you get this nice activation of your back muscles, and your shoulders are pulling away and back down again. Now, I don't have much lift. I'm moving the foam roller halfway down my arms because I think it'll give me more range. Lift your head, activate your back muscles, pull the shoulders, and see if you can lift a little more. And back down. And again, lift. Roll and lift. Doesn't matter how far you go. You want those back muscles to start to work. And back. And again, lift. And back down. Now for single leg kicks, lift up a little bit. Just get, or a lot if you're nice and flexible. Bend one foot towards your bottom and kick twice. Keep the chest working. Kick, kick, and down. 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 Lift a little bit more. And down. Now, lift up a little bit. Can you take your right leg and lift it off the floor so the whole thigh lifts? Lower it. Lift your left leg. Lower it. So it's a nice place to check your pelvis and see how much stability you have. And down. Left leg. And down. Right leg. And down. Left leg. And down. Lower your head. Now from here, stay with your head down for double leg kicks. Bend both knees. Kick them 3 times towards your bottom. Kick, kick, and kick. And then lift your chest and roll the foam roller in. As you lengthen out, bend your knees and kick 3 times. Kick, kick, kick. And lift. Again, kick, kick, kick. And lift. And last one, kick, kick, kick. And lift. Very good. Extend out. Sit into your heels and child's pose. And if you want to, take the foam roller. So you let's just come to seated position for a minute. So here you are sitting into your heels. The foam roller is in front of you. Now roll out and keep your hands on the roller so you can get your head down. So it's going to stretch into your lats and the side body a little bit. And then just let yourself rest here for a minute. Big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Big breath out. One more time. Big breath in. Big breath out. Come up and place the foam roller parallel to you. And lay yourself out so your knee, you're on your side, your knee and your foot are about 90-degree angle. So you're in this position. The other hand is in front of you, and you're going to roll. You can be on your elbows, actually. You're going to roll the knee out a bit. Roll the knee back. So we're working into the adductors. You may be able to go all the way out to on your belly. roll back, roll out, roll back. One more time like this. Roll out and roll back. Now, here you are. Your knee and your foot are tracked. Check that you have a 90-degree angle here and your body's straight. You can have your hand here on the floor. Inside leg lifts and down. Now, as you lift the inside leg, don't turn it out. Don't turn it in. Can you lift it straight up so we get a very pure alignment of the adductor, meaning your inner thigh. Lift and down. Lift and down. Lift and down. One more time like this. Lift and down. Now let's take the inside leg and circle it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Reverse it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very good. We are doing the same thing on the other side. I'm turning around this way so I can face the camera. You're going to be stacked nice and straight and long. 90-degree angle. Hand on the floor. The foot and the knee up in the same alignment, and you're going to roll towards the stomach. Think of the adductor or the inner thigh rolling away from you and widening. It gets short and in. Roll, so you're rolling towards your stomach. Roll back. Roll towards the stomach. And back, stacking up on the side body. One more time, back. And forward. So here you are. Take your inside leg, lift it. And down. Lift it and down. Lift it and down. Lift and down. Lift the leg and down. And now 5 circles. Circle that leg. Circle, 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 reverse it, circle, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very, very good. Come back on your backs. Let's see if we're going to give ourselves a very hard teaser. So, feet here. First with the knee, so 90-degree angle between the feet and the hips. Whoa. Can you roll up? I can't. So I'm moving my feet further away for me to roll up. So cheating is good. And down. And again, up. And down. So see if you can find an angle where the foam roller does. You can keep it. If you can do teaser. If you can't do teaser, then work from the floor or just have fun. Now, one leg, both knees together. Up. And down. Up. And down. One more time. Up. And down. Change your side. Other leg. Up. And down. Whoa. Wow, 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 wow. Is that catching me where I'm all crooked? And down. One more time like this. Up. And down. And bend your knees in. Bring yourself up to a seated position. Let's see here. What can we do fun for seal? I'm trying to think. We have our foam, we have our normal rolling like a ball, but I'm wondering, let's try. We'll do a seal in 2 different ways. One of them is just getting, let's lift our feet up. See if we can clap, 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 roll and up. Oh, so we're not allowed to go all the way back. Clap, 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 rock and up. Clap, clap, clap. One more time this way. Up and back. Clap, clap, clap. Not too sure about that one. I think I'm going to dump it. But we're back up on the foam roller. And here you are. And you'll do like rolling like a ball, but we're going to be with our hands on the floor, but now we're going to have the legs. So clap, clap, clap. Can you lift your bottom and come back? Clap, clap, clap. Lift your bottom and back. One more time. Clap, clap, clap. Lift and come up. Stand. Come up to a standing position. And take the foam roller horizontal. You're going to stand in a Pilates stance. Lift your arms up to the ceiling. Roll yourself down till you get to here and roll out a little bit. Literally roll out. You're not walking up. You're just lengthening. Roll the foam roller back. Roll up. Lift your arms up. And one more time, bring the arms down. Roll. Walk out. So it's more like an extension here. You're looking to reach the arms away. Get that length. Come back. Roll up. And float the arms down. Relax your arms. Take a breath in here. Breathing out. Let it go. And you did great. We had fun. Whoa.